don't go believing anything I say. No, don't go believing me. No, don't listen to me, don't take any notice. Don't listen to anything that I say. Thank you.
But while I'm on the subject, can I ask, who has had your booster? Has everybody had your booster? You look you all look young and thrusting, but far too young and thrusting maybe to need a booster. But get your booster as soon as you can, because it's by vaccinating our country that we've been able to get your staff back to their place of work, to open our theatres, our restaurants, and get back for longer now than any comparator country to something like normal life. And even if we're still bumping elbows and wearing masks, I'm not going to pretend that everything is going to be plain sailing. And I'm going to be Aussie. And I'm going to be Aussie. And I'm going to be Aussie. It is a moral mission. And as you get older, I find the funny thing is you get more idealistic and less cynical. And today, fate has handed us an opportunity to do that. When the first industrial revolution began 250 years ago, right up until the beginning of the 20th century, we were producing more coal, smelting more iron, building more ships and boilers and making more machines than virtually any other country on Earth. And today, we are on the brink of another revolution, a green industrial revolution. There is now a massive new gigafactory for batteries. When I was a kid, 80% of our electricity came from coal. I remember those huge barges taking coal up the Thames to Battersea Power Station. I could see them thinking about it, and I could see them thinking, right, okay, maybe this is doable. And it seemed faddish and ludicrous to imagine that we could light and heat our homes with a technology that dated from the 9th century Persia, I think. After almost a century of using roughly the same technology, we are going to change radically. We're going to change radically. Our cars, our trucks, our buses, our ships, our boats, our planes, our trains, our domestic heating systems, our farming methods, our industrial processes, our power generation, and much else besides. It will be the young people of today, the disciples of climate change, and I confidently predict that in just a few years' time, because in the end, it is you, it is business people who will fix this problem. Governments don't innovate. Governments don't innovate. Governments don't produce new products and get out and sell them in the marketplace. And though governments can spend tens, if not hundreds of billions, and though governments can spend tens, if not hundreds of billions, we know that the market has hundreds of trillions. And to ensure that the British business succeeds in this new world, we've set out a 10-point plan for government leadership. A new decalogue that I produced exactly a year ago when I came down from Sinai, and I said to my officials, the new Ten Commandments, thou shalt develop 1. Offshore wind, 2. Hydrogen, 3. Nuclear power, 4. Zero emission vehicles, 5. Green public transport, cycling and walking, 6. Jet zero and green ships, 7. Greener buildings, 8. Carbon capture and storage, 9. Nature and trees, 10. Green finance. And for each of those objectives, and we're regulating so as to require new homes and buildings to have EV charging points, not just in the green industrial revolution, of course, but in all sectors of the economy. Why have we allowed ourselves to be left behind? Well, you tell me. So we're investing not just in big nuclear power plants, but in small nuclear reactors as well. And we're consulting on classifying this essential technology as green investment, consulting on classifying this essential technology as green investment so that we can get more investment flowing in and ahead of the EU. Lenin once said that the communist revolution was Soviet power plus the electrification of the whole country. Was Soviet power plus the electrification of the whole country. Well, I hesitate to quote Lenin, Tony, before the Confederation of British Industry. But the coming industrial revolution is green power plus the electrification of the whole country. Is green power plus the electrification of the whole country. Cutting the time from Manchester to Leeds from 55 to 33 minutes. But these plans are far richer and more ambitious. And we are doing the beaching reversals. We are doing the beaching reversals. And we are doing the beaching reversals. That's putting in lines that were taken out sadly in the 19 earlier this century, in the last century. We cannot be endlessly hostile to road improvements, and we have to do it now. Working habits have been remade by the pandemic, and that everyone will be working only on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, in an acronym that I won't repeat. On Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. On Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. There are also sound evolutionary reasons why Mother Nature does not like working from home. So I prophesy that people will come back, Tony. They will come back. But people also want choice. And that's why we must put in the gigabit broadband. So with safer streets, with great local schools, with fantastic broadband, forgive me. Forgive me. Forgive me. People will have the confidence to stay nearer the place they grew up. People will have the confidence to stay nearer the place they grew up. People will have the confidence to stay nearer the place they grew up. And then, of course, there is one thing that business wants and that this country needs far more than 100 supersonic rail links, far more than broadband, and that is skills. And the people that you all need to staff your business. We're focusing on skills. We're supporting boot camps. We're supporting boot camps. We are taking advantage of our new freedoms to deliver free ports, as well as free trade deals, AI, cyber, quantum computing, and all the rest, and all the applications of those technologies to the areas in which we excel. So you get fintech, medtech, edtech, biotech, medtech, nanotech, agtech, green tech. So you sound basically like 15th century Mexico. That is what this country is doing. There are only 3 nations in the world that have produced more than 100 tech unicorns, and they are... Which 3 nations have produced more than 100 tech unicorns? Correct. The United States, China, and the United Kingdom. We want to see the dispersal of this growth and development across the UK. But in the end, and this is the most important message of all, there are limits to what governments can do. There are limits to what governments can do. But government cannot fix everything, and government sometimes should get out of your hair. And government sometimes should get out of your hair. And government sometimes should get out of your hair. And government should make sure that there is less regulation and indeed less taxation. And the true driver of growth is not government. Yesterday I went, as we all must, to Peppa Pig World. I was a bit hazy what I would find at Peppa Pig World, but I loved it. And Peppa Pig World is very much my kind of place. Very safe streets. discipline in schools, heavy emphasis on new mass transit systems, I notice, with theme parks both in America and in China, as well as in the New Forest, and a business that's worth at least £6 billion. £6 billion. Now, I think that is pure genius. So my final message to you, as we stand on the brink of this green industrial revolution, the right time zone and the right language and opportunity across the whole country. We're also blessed with the amazing inventive power, and that, above all, is what fills me with confidence for the days ahead. Thank you very much for your kind attention this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.